Welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series on small business owners who are getting the move on. And our guest this week, well, this is a women's boutique that serves women, pit bulls, and a whole lot more. This is Small Business Celebration. Welcome, where we chat with real business owners who have real success and learn from them about what works, what doesn't, and who want you to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train. Join us where you can learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. Welcome to Small Business Celebration, and our guest this week is Heidi Shubin, the owner of Sugardaddy's Women's Boutique. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
For visionaries who don't know who you are you, and what is it that you do?
My name is Heidi Shubin, and like you said, I'm the owner of Sugardaddy's Women's Boutique, and we are a women's apparel, unique boutique.
You're in Bakersfield.
Oh, yes, we're in Bakersfield, California. I'm so sorry. I'm like, and what was the next question?
Well, and one of the reasons we're talking with Heidi today is it's 2 days after Black Friday when this episode goes live here on YouTube. And for all of your holiday shopping needs, ladies and gentlemen, you can come here to Sugardaddy's.
Yes, you sure can. And we'll also be selling $50 gift certificates for only $37.50 from Black Friday till Christmas Eve.
And that's in 2022.
Yes.
We need to make sure, because if people are watching this in 2040, it's
so hopefully this is a tradition that we do. I have done since I've like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. So we sell them from New Year's Eve, or not New Year's Eve, excuse me, the day after Thanksgiving till Christmas Eve.
So you make sure you get in those stocking stuffers.
Yes.
You can get in.
And they can purchase as many as they like. There's no expiration date. You just can't use them till the day after Christmas.
Okay, so you can give yourself a gift.
Exactly.
As we're the day after Unboxing Day.
Yes, there you go, Unboxing Day.
Now, one of the things that's so important, and this has been something that I've been looking forward to, because Sugardaddy's, it's a mainstay of Bakersfield, because it's been in business for how many years now?
40 years this year. We're having our 40-year celebration November 29th.
And you don't look like somebody who's had this business for 40 years.
No. I've been, thankfully, my mother has had this for 40 years. She started it in 1982, and I'm thankfully being able to carry on the legacy.
Is your mom still involved with the business, or is she?
Yes.
She is.
She gets to do the fun things now. So she gets to help me purchase for the store. Her and I have for the last 15 years, we handpick everything. Before that, it was herself and one of her best friends. And in the beginning, it was my granny and her mother and her.
This store, yes, it's a women's boutique, but this is a great place for men to come in and get gifts for their wives.
But we also know a lot of our women. I know that we keep record of their size, their likes, and we get to know them. We're very honest about what looks good on them and what does not.
There you go. Because you offer a boutique for a wide range of ages, do you not?
The ages, I would say, I wore clothes from here when I started being 16. So it just depends on your taste in clothes and your maturity level. But normally our crowd is in their 30s to basically dead, because people do come in to get their mothers or grandmothers or wives casket wear.
Oh, okay.
So, but that being said, it's more or less like one of our oldest customers is 92 years old.
Wow. Well, so mid-30s, so all the way through.
Yes, and she's very styling too. So it's not granny apparel. Although I'm a granny.
Sure. Have you been in the same location for all those 40 plus years?
In the same shopping center. We were around the original store was around the corner by where Stockdale 6 movie theaters used to be, Sage Music Mart, all the great places, and Baskin Robbins has been there. So it was on the other side.
Why did you guys make the move?
So we were half this size over there, which some days I wish we would have stayed, and so does my mother. It's been an extraordinary feet to go from one size to the next.
Right.
But when Revelation, this used to be Revelation's area, which was another awesome clothing store.
Right.
When she retired, my mom thought, well, we'll expand and go over to around there. And there was other undesirable stores going in over there. So we thought, well, we'll just come over here.
Why did you take over the business from your mother?
Well, she's ready to retire. But why she when you know you can only be in customer service so long.
Okay. Right.
But why I did I was explaining to you earlier that I have always seen myself doing this. Sorry, I get emotional. Watching my granny and watching my mom and watching my great grandmother Nini, whom I get to be called today. They were so beautiful, dressed from head to toe, always looked sharp, stunning, unique. So I just wanted to walk in their footsteps.
And here you are.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all perfectly good. Many of our Visioneer audience are women. And do you carry business wear here, or is this mostly casual?
There's casual. It is upscale casual,
okay.
And we also have some loungewear. But as today's business wear is evolved a lot, we don't have like 3-piece suits.
Right.
We do have some nice jackets. We have lots of separates.
Men have it easy.
Yes.
We just put on a suit.
Yeah, pretty much. We have to make sure the tie fits or matches this and that.
Right.
If you're my husband.
True. But women have a much more challenging time with that. How do you help the female business owner be presentable in this business climate?
Well, like I said, we do our best to fit their size, their personality, and we definitely, when they come out of that dressing room and it doesn't look good, I don't want you to walk out of here not looking good.
Right.
If something doesn't fit right, doesn't look good, the color's not right, I strongly suggest you not get it. And 99% of the women are very grateful for that, and they take our opinion, our suggestions at what they are. So they're grateful.
If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you do good.
Exactly.
If Visioneers want to get in touch with you and learn more about Sugar Daddies, how do they do that?
We have a website, SugarDaddy'sBoutique.com. We're located at 5512 Stockdale Highway between Home Goods and Party City. Right. And we have Facebook and Instagram. The Facebook, I believe, is just at Sugar Daddy's Boutique, and the Instagram is SugarDaddy's_boutique.
And if you enjoy Small Business Celebration, go ahead and like, subscribe, and notify, and leave a comment. We love the comments that you as Visioneers give us here on Small Business Celebration. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, okay, it's a women's boutique, but how do you get men to come through the door? When we come, right back. The winter season is rapidly approaching, but are the tires on your car or truck ready for wet weather? Bakersfield's best tire store, Cleroux Tire, has been serving families like yours for 80 years and installs and services the tires your family depends on when the wet weather comes. Give Cleroux Tire a call at 661-324-6069 and ask them about what tire works best for you and your budget. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 or visit them at 530 East 21st Street in Bakersfield or at ClerouxTire.com today. The wet winter weather is rapidly approaching. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 today. I'm here with Heidi Shubin, the owner of Sugar Daddy's Women's Boutique, and our Visioneer question comes from Gracie, who asks, our business has catered in the past to women, but we're finding that we're missing a significant of the male market. How do you adjust your business to include more men walking through your door?
That's a very good question, and a hard one to actually live out, follow through with.
Right, sure, right.
So my dad once suggested doing an ad in camera ads.
Right.
So we did that.
Right.
Didn't see much follow through with that.
Right.
Obviously, we're on social medias,
Right.
and when we have events or doing our gift certificate specials and things like that, I will tag all the men that are on my page, which is a lot. I have lots of followers on my personal page, so we're trying to get them to come over to follow the business page.
Right.
I have also been in, business groups like the EAKC.
And who is the EAKC?
The Executive Association of Kern County, which are men and women business owners.
Okay.
I get to be in front of them once a week. I also am in other, other business networking business groups throughout Bakersfield.
Okay.
But getting the men in here is just basically like word of mouth. By word of mouth, so the husband or the wives or girlfriends or grandmothers or mothers can tell their spouses, fathers, every man in their life that they need to come into Sugardaddy's to get them a gift certificate, or they've got something on hold, or they have something on layaway. Oh, hint, hint. Come pick up my layaway for my birthday, present.
Sure.
So that works out, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle to get men to walk in here because not a lot of men want to do that, and they feel, oh, what am I going to get her? And it's not going to be right.
But one of the things that you mentioned in the last segment that you do is you keep on file for all of your customers, their sizes, their preferences, and that sort of thing. Do you have an opportunity, or do you have the husbands, the boyfriends that come in and say, I don't know what to get, but you have all that information that you're able to pull something off the rack that they like. How are you able to do something like that and increase the business sales that way?
Well, like I said, we do have a customer notes in our database, but also we get to know our customers. So a lot of times we don't need to look in there unless I have a new employee and they're like, I don't know, and I may not be here at that moment. But nevertheless, we do our best to get to know our customers. So when they come in and say, Barbara Wilson has a birthday coming up, what would she like? And what size is she? And the husband's like, like this and this. So we try to, like I said, we try our best to remember that information and go around and see what we think would look best on them. And of course, they always can get a gift certificate, so that makes them feel secure that their wife will be able, or mother or whoever will be able to come back and exchange that for what they like.
The thing about this store, you mentioned in the last segment that it's moved around the corner.
Yes.
How has this store changed since you've taken it over from your mother?
Well, I would think that it's evolved to a more updated. Obviously, every year the fashions are changing. I've been told by even our older customers that have been with us the longest that they see a more hip look. Not to say my mom wasn't hip. It's just we have different tastes. So what I think that someone would like, she may not agree with, and vice versa. So we still have both. We still have let's say an eclectic taste, an eclectic vision throughout the store. But I think that I've also tried to gear it toward the more 30 and 35-year-olds rather than the 70 and 80-year-olds. Although, like I say, we still have them. So it's just a nice arrangement of a give and take on both of our tastes. So,
you mentioned previously that you've always had the vision of coming into the family business.
Like I said, I've always admired and just been in awe of how beautiful my great-grandmother and my granny was, and my mother is. So I wanted, and I know that this was my mother's life. This is, she worked tooth and nail to make this business successful. So I knew that I wanted to go work with her and to do the same thing and to make her proud.
But one of the traps in doing that is you can live here. It's not hard, and this is a trap that a lot of business owners fall into themselves. They go through and they work 60, and then they work 70 hours a week, and then 80, and then 100 hours a week, and then their spouse isn't their spouse anymore. And so, what's one of the things that you've overcome in your life that has helped prepare you for actually recognizing that there's a world outside of the business?
Well, I'm a recovering addict. I've been clean almost 16 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And as we were discussing, you can trade one addiction for the next. Throughout all the counseling and meetings and things to learn about myself, I can do that very easily. Even though I may not be here physically in store after 6 p.m. With the new social medias and the websites and how we have to grow our business, I'm constantly on doing, updating and everything. So I finally, a couple years ago, got a social media girl, which is L&M Media, which is amazing. And she's been very helpful. I have my daughter-in-law that's been helpful. I still obviously get on there and check it probably more than I should. And
sure.
Yes, and then if I come across a picture like, oh, we still have that in store, I need to post it. Things like that. But overcoming being married to only my business is also been having an amazing husband to support my dreams. And his wedding vows were to support my dreams, my desires, and make sure that I was happy with and our business was successful. So, and he's held his end of that.
Good.
So he's been very, very, very supportive.
Good.
So,
what are some of the guardrails that you have put in place for yourself to say, this is the line and I don't go beyond that because it's not healthy?
It's hard.
Sure.
That's very hard. Like, well, I was telling you earlier, Saturday we had, I watched a grandchild, which I love, went to an event, and then I said, okay, Sunday I'm doing nothing. We literally binged watched movies, played with our dogs and made a chicken pot pie, things like that. But we made sure that was it. I was going to spend time with my husband and nobody else that day. But I have to say, and actually he is a very good support. Like I said, he'd go, no, you just tell him no.
Right.
So,
he gives you permission.
Yes.
Permission to say no.
Yes, there you go. That's a good way. I'll look at it like that. Because sometimes I'm like, but I want to do it.
Right, sure.
So.
When we come back, we're going to talk about one of the challenges a lot of visionaries have, which is things keep evolving and changing all the time. And how do you pick and choose what to stick with and what not to, and what you put aside and what you keep? When we come right back. The reason I'm here with Heidi Shubin, the owner of Sugardaddy's Women's Boutique, is because of a visionary question that came from a visionaire just like you. We had a visionaire that wanted to find out, I serve mostly women, but how do I also expand my business to serve men as well? So if you've got a question, you've got a thought, something you'd like to learn about here on Small Business Celebration, reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram and let us know. Who knows? Your question could appear here on Small Business Celebration. So reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today. I'm here with Heidi Shubin, the owner of Sugardaddy's Women's Boutique, and our visitor question comes from Debbie, who asks, we're finding that customers are demanding new products with a vast range of variety, which is not possible all the time. What are you doing to compensate for this?
That is a struggle because
Sure.
my mother, my grandmother told my mother once, you cannot be everything to everyone all the time.
Right.
And I struggled with that too. So what I do my best at is to try to find what is more important to focus on mother of the bride or an everyday wear or what.
So one of the things that you have done is even though you have a wide range of apparel for a wide range of audiences, you've actually narrowed it down.
Definitely narrowed it down to more everyday, more event, not formal, ball gown event, but event wear, wedding, being an attendee to a wedding.
Oh, so not being the bride, but being the attending.
Yes, attending a wedding.
Right.
And we have been able, we do the mother or grandmother of the bride, but not, like I said, not a formal affair event. We do, we have accessories and shoes, but again, we can't be everything to everybody all the time. So I have to remember that.
How have you learned this lesson?
By overbuying, by going, okay, oh, so-and-so has this, so I need to do this. Oh, somebody came in and asked for this, so I need to order this.
Right.
And we learn by doing, learning by having an overstocked sale rack.
It hasn't moved in the last 2 years.
Right, exactly. So it's like, okay, obviously at 70% off, it's still not going to move. And I think every business, whether it be apparel or a real estate business, you learn what works and what doesn't. And I'm still learning. It's an everyday learning process. But I think that I'm getting it.
She says with a wink.
Slowly but surely, exactly.
You have dogs.
Yes. 5.
5 dogs?
5 dogs.
You have a pack.
Yes. And when my son was still at home, we had one more. So 5 dogs, 3 pit bulls, and 2 little mixtures of little dogs.
Right.
And they're all rescues.
Are you involved in the rescue world?
I am involved in the rescue world to the extent that I can be involved in. Like I said, 5th rescue was topping it out.
Right.
But what I do, my heart is really, really there. My heart is with either sharing a post, making phone call after phone call to see if this person and that person can help, either with monetary donations for food, for shelters, for rescues. We do events here, after our fundraising events for the different shelters.
Which shelters do you do?
Bakersfield Boxers and Bullies, HALT, Second Chance Animal Rescue Sanctuary, the Fruitvale Services, the Mount Vernon Animal, SPCA, the list goes on and on. They don't have a voice. Right. We have to be their voice. And there's some really cruel people out in the world, and we have to make it a better world for them.
What have you learned from helping rescue pit bulls that you've applied to your business?
Dedication and commitment.
Okay.
Loyalty, because you have to be dedicated, committed, and loyal to yourself and to your business and to your customers as you are to that animal.
Oh.
So when you take in a stray, you need to make sure, and when you adopt a puppy, when you purchase a puppy, any whichever way you get that animal, that's a piece of your family. That's a part of your family. You just don't throw them away. So when I have someone walk through that door and they are entrusting me with the way they look and with the way they feel, I treat them the same way as I would like to be treated. So,
the golden rule.
Yes, definitely.
One of the things that a lot of business owners sometimes have a challenge with is keeping updated on the latest and greatest. And it doesn't really matter what business you're in. Technology is constantly changing. The politics is constantly changing. The customer is constantly changing. And for you, you're in the fashion business. And that not only changes annually, it changes seasonally as well. What do you do? Because you mentioned that your mother and you also go through and do a lot of the buying and shopping, that sort of thing. What do you personally do to stay on top of the ever-changing trends of fashion?
So my mother's been the great one about reading, like the apparel news, the footwear, things like that. I go and I follow other boutiques and on Instagram and Facebook. and see what they're doing. I also like, you've got to do the Pantone colors of the year, of the season.
What are the Pantone colors of the season?
You know what? You knew you were going to ask me that right now, because right this minute, I honestly couldn't tell you what it was right now. Because
it's chartreuse with pink polka dots and
sure,
purple stripes.
whatever looks good. No, honestly, because that's what you're supposed to. Honestly, I like go through it and whatever we like and what we see the customer liking, and you've got to have an array of colors, because I personally don't like beige, taupe, but we have it.
Right.
And it we've got to have some sense of that. Now, stone colored pants don't sell. So we don't hardly buy stone-colored pants, because it's not the most attractive on the bottom half of a body.
Right.
So I personally stay up to date on what the trends are by following other boutiques that I have seen and that have been in business quite some time. I like to rely and ask other women in business what they see and what they like. And I also like to support other women in business. I'm a big believer that women should support women. We shouldn't be in a race to like who gets more and who does better, because I think we should support that. There's not a lot of small business women in town, especially women clothing apparel. So if I don't have something, I'd like to be able to call over to say Victoria's and say, do you have it? So that's always been one of my biggest things, is to lean on other women for their opinion as well.
What makes you wake up every morning and open your business?
Well, I've mentioned it a couple times. Personally, my first thing is to continue to make the legacy, to continue the legacy with my mother and my grandmother. But I also wake up and know that I didn't have this opportunity 20 years ago, 16 years ago. I wake up and I don't take it for granted. Yeah, there's days I just don't want to get out of bed. There's days that I don't want to, look, can I call so-and-so and see if you can open? And more days than you'd think, it's just because it's just when you open your eyes. But I open my eyes and I think it could be worse, even though I feel horrible because I have fibromyalgia and blah, blah, blah. I still need to get up, and I want to get up, and I want to be there and make that person feel good about themselves and continue to make myself feel good about myself. So even if it's a bad day, it always can be worse.
Heidi, this has been fun. If Visioneers want to get in touch with you, how do they do that? So
you can call Sugardaddy's Boutique at 661-325-8300, or you can come and stop in at 5512 Stockdale Highway, Bakersfield, California, in between Home Goods and Party City, or we have Instagram or Facebook. And that's it. That's it. All right. Oh, wait, we have a website, sugardaddysboutique.com, but it's not got everything on there, so don't look at that and think that there's not anything else to offer. But wait, there's more. Exactly. Well, Heidi, this has been great fun. Thank you for joining us here on Small Business Celebration. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'll be right back with my final thought. The winter season is rapidly approaching. But are the tires on your car or truck ready for wet weather? Bakersfield's best tire store, Cleroux Tire, has been serving families like yours for 80 years and installs and services the tires your family depends on when the wet weather comes. Give Cleroux Tire a call at 661-324-6069 and ask them about what tire works best for you and your budget. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 or visit them at 530 East 21st Street in Bakersfield or at ClerouxTire.com today. The wet winter weather is rapidly approaching. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 today. You can learn a lot about a man by the joke he tells. My great-grandfather was a very successful business owner. He sold insurance, and he had many wonderful qualities. He was really good at putting people at ease. He was also very good at accounting. But one of his self-professed failings was that he wasn't a very good joke teller. He couldn't tell stories very well.
And in fact, when a customer would come into his office and tell him a joke that he thought was particularly funny, he would write down the joke and literally file that joke in a filing cabinet in 2 places. The first, he would file it under the content of the joke, and then he would file it under who told him the joke. Many years later, my father was telling me this story, and I thought, this sounds really odd. Why on earth would he want to go through and file a joke, especially under the person's name who told it to him? And my dad smiled and he looked at me and he said, most people, most business owners, they go to great pains to remember the person's name, they remember the customer's, their spouse's name, the name of their children, birthdays and anniversaries. But it's the little things about the customer that the customer remembers most. After all, there's a lot you can learn about a man from the joke he tells. I hope you enjoyed our conversation this week with Heidi Shubin, the owner of Sugardaddy's Women's Boutique, and I hope you learned something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. And we'll see you here again next week. By the way, if you're singing opera in the shower and you suddenly get soap in your mouth,
I'll be sticky. Blah, blah, blah.
What do you have?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
A soap opera.
Okay, yes, you do. I'm going to remember that.
Welcome to Small Business Celebration, and your aunt comes in and rotates everything?
Yes, so my amazing aunt, Julie, which is my mother's little sister, she has been with us 14 years. And she comes in every Sunday, and when I need to fill in, but she comes in and she rotates and changes displays, incorporates our new arrivals, and makes it look like a dream in here.
How long has she been doing this?
She actually was in mortgage and banking her whole life.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
this is fun for her.
This is fun. This is, she loves doing her job. She, of course, is open on Sundays, FYI, from 11 to 4. She also helps customers. She, like I said, she used to work every weekend, but it's a lot getting older, and we all have physical issues. But anyway, she is amazing. She just does things like, I walked in and she's got a purse and earrings and something that I thought, I wouldn't have thought to put that together. And I don't want to say that out loud, but she is amazing. And throughout COVID, she worked with me, didn't expect a dime. She was here no matter what, and she's pretty amazing.